Hi students. Okay, so today I'm going to go over how I made a light catcher, and I have it in quotes because this could easily just be a fun piece of art that you make and don't hang in the window. And I want to go over how I did it, and I used a couple different materials that would work better for light catcher and some that would not. I used brush, Sharpie. This picture is with acrylic paint. I also tried tempera paint. The popsicle sticks are the frame, and then I used scissors and glue to cut the wax paper. The brown paper bag is just my messy mat. So I smeared around the acrylic, and I pretty quickly realized it was going to be opaque and not going to let a lot of light through the wax paper. So I tried it again with some tempera paint that I had, but it's glitter tempera paint, so it was really thin. So I pretty quickly realized that was going to be too thin. Little Goldilocks thing going on there. So I mixed the two together and on the paper plate, and then I put them on the wax paper, and I got something that would probably work. So regular tempera paint will probably be your best bet for a window light catcher. Now, once I had them smeared around, I wanted to make sure, my size would fit for the frame. And then if I had a certain spot that I loved, I wanted to make sure I got that into the frame. So once it was dry, I placed the frame where I was going to cut, and then I cut away the excess wax paper. Now, I suggest, because I didn't do this until, a couple times in, making the frames, gluing them together, and then having them set aside. I glued the popsicle sticks to the wax paper. Might not have been the easiest way to do it. Now, on the wax paper, I flipped it over and I drew the Sharpie silhouette, the design that I wanted on my project, on the not painted side. And I thought that was better than trying to draw the Sharpie through the paint. Even though the paint was dry, I thought it might peel my paint up, and I thought it might ruin my Sharpie. And both of those things might be true. You could test it maybe on a scrap that you're not going to use, that you cut away. The issue I had with that, with putting the Sharpie on the wax paper, was that it sort of pulled around and it required two coats, and sometimes it lifted itself up again because it was the wax paper. So black acrylic paint might be best for this, but it will be very hard for you to get small spots. So you might just make a painting onto here and frame it, or if you do want to go the silhouette route, you can try the Sharpie and the acrylic paint. Now, I said I glued mine down, so what I did was I put the glue along here, and then I put those onto it, and then I put glue along the top and bottom, and then I glued those down to it. And then you'll have to look here at my little picture of myself to see the finished thing. So I put some frame details on, right? Little bits of glitter glue or glitter paint, really. You could paint this whole thing or color this whole thing with Sharpie or paint. And then I put a little string on it to hang it. I made these knots on the back so that the glue had more to grab. And you could tape this to the window, or you could just hang this on the wall. It might look really nice that way. And I hope you have a lot of fun playing around with this and enjoy. All right, take care, kids.